Okay, so we got some really big updates here on what's going on with the numbers. Now, what we know is Kamala Harris is making some pretty big jumps in the polls, and so we're curious to see kind of what's going on. And so we have some really good insight as to what exactly is going on. There's something really interesting. So this article is actually dubbing this new demographic that Kamala Harris is really succeeding with as quote unquote double haters. So this article says Harris picks up quote double haters as Democratic enthusiasm jumps poll. So this is super fascinating because, as you guys know, in 2020 the election was between Biden and Trump, but most of the votes for Biden were not really, hey, I want to vote for Biden. It was, hey, I don't want Trump. Hillary Clinton kind of had a similar aspect where it was the lesser of two evils as well. So what's happening is a lot of those numbers that were kind of down for Biden and a lot of the numbers going to Kennedy were because basically people didn't like either candidate essentially. And so RFK had kind of these stemmed up numbers. And so there are a lot of this category of double haters is massive right now. It's absolutely massive. Just like it was single haters last time where people hated Trump. Now it's double haters. So the article says Vice President Harris is gaining momentum among voters who dislike both President Biden and former President Trump, according to a new poll. The new Monmouth University poll found the number of, quote, double haters, voters who dislike both candidates, has been cut in half since Harris joined the race. The poll found 8% of voters do not have favorable views of either Trump or Harris, while 17% said they did not have favorable views of either Biden or Trump. So the number of people who dislike both candidates has sliced in half. So it's halved already, right? This poll in June found that 54% of the double haters who had unfavorable views of Biden and Trump would not support either candidate, while 28% said they would support Biden and 19% said they would back Trump. So 54% of double haters were saying that they were going to vote for neither, but then this drops. So it says, however, the new poll found that Harris now has 53% of the vote among these Biden-Trump double haters. 11% of those who dislike Biden and Trump said they would vote for the former president, while 35% said they would back neither candidate. So what we can see here is like the neither candidate has dropped from 54% down to 35%. And Kamala's numbers has gone way up, right? Because Biden was only getting 28% of the double haters. Harris is getting 53, so like a damn near doubling almost, right? So she's damn near doubling. So it says, quote, taking Biden out of the mix and replacing him with Harris has significantly altered a key metric in this race. As we reported last month, Trump-Biden double haters want to shake things up, but they are wary of change that is too authoritarian. Harris appears to provide most of the group with the fresh outlook they desire, said Patrick Murray, director of independent Monmouth University Polling Institute, in the poll report. So basically what's going on here is just like a cumulative function. There's like a cum function going on where like you have the indices of like n minus 1 plus n. It's like you have the anti-Biden or anti-Trump vote, but now you're adding together on almost like in a cumulative way the anti-Biden vote as well, because there's a really big demographic for that. But what's also weird is going on, this seems to be like kind of a vibes election where vibes are really carrying her, and somehow, even though there's an anti-Biden plus anti-Trump vote that's happening, there also seems to feel like there's sort of a pro-Kamala vote. And what I mean by that is people are excited to vote for Kamala Harris, like they want to vote for her. That's what the energy is kind of feeling like right now. Whereas in Biden 2020, nobody was excited to vote for Biden. They're like, I just need to get Trump off the television. They need to get him away. That was literally what people said when I phone banked. For Bernie Sanders, a lot of people were like, I just want to get him off the TV and everything, right? They never said anything about supporting Biden ever. It was always, I just don't like Trump. That was always what it was. So, this seems to be crazy where there's just huge impact, and this appears to be the secret. It's really befuddling to me. I didn't see this coming, and I don't understand this at all because I don't see the big difference between Kamala and Biden. If you were to have replaced him with, let's say, Bernie Sanders, AOC, someone like that, Tim Walz even, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. Enthusiasm is up. You really want to go vote for all those policies, free school lunches or, Medicare for all if you're Bernie Sanders, or tons of policies if you're Bernie Sanders. Kamala Harris more or less is the same as Biden. She's walked back all of her previous things of Medicare for all those things that she fake supported in 2020. She walked them back in the administration years ago, and she actually double walked it back by reiterating that recently again. Or her campaign did, or one of her advisors did. So she's already walked all that back, so there's no real policies. She doesn't have a policy proposal list yet, so there's no issues you can really be hype about to run on. Like where Bernie would be like, holy shit, Medicare for all, like any wars, free college, there's so much stuff, federal jobs guarantee, tons of stuff. But with Kamala, there's just nothing. So she's essentially the same person, more or less. She might even be less progressive on labor. Biden was pretty progressive on labor with his NLRB and, the CHIPS Act and everything. We don't know yet. She's kind of she's not as susceptible to the establishment as other Democrats are, is what we can see. She's kind of doing things her own way in a lot of situations. But I'm very befuddled by this, and she's not a very good speaker either. Like, she's not bad, but she's not anything significant or good. So if you think Biden was a bad speaker or whatever, Biden did very poorly in the debate, but his rallies had good energy, and he would make dumb gaffes of mixing up Ukraine and Russia. And I guess unless you think that's cognitive decline, that'd be one thing, but I'm just not really seeing it personally. So age is not age, even if he's older, it's like, okay, what does it have to do with his policy positions personally, And then maybe you think that, oh, well, she has a better chance of winning the election, but it feels a little bit circular because kind of like, who's deciding that? I feel like it's the double haters who are deciding who's the more electable, and so it kind of ends up being like a circular reasoning where it's like, okay, wait, but who's deciding that he's unelectable? It's you. And then, so the second part of this article is talking about the enthusiasm jump. So it says the poll also showed a jump in voter enthusiasm for the presidential contest with Harris in the race, especially among Democrats. Voter enthusiasm jumped from 48% in June for a Trump-Biden rematch to 68% in July with the matchup between Trump and Harris, according to the poll. Monmouth noted that the biggest jump in enthusiasm was among Democrats. This is crazy. It says, with Biden as the presumptive nominee in June, 46% of Democrats said they were enthusiastic about the Trump-Biden rematch, okay? The new poll now shows 85% of Democrats were enthusiastic about a Trump-Harris matchup. 46 to 85 is fucking insane. I don't even know if the most bullish anti-Biden people could have seen this coming. Again, I don't understand at all why, because the vibes are crazy right now, and I think this election kind of just going to come down to vibes at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, I'm not sure what the crazy enthusiasm is about for Kamala Harris. Tim Walz, for example, I would totally understand. There's a lot of policy positions to be behind. He's super exciting. Like, he gets me hyped when he's speaking. I'm like, damn, I'm getting excited. Kamala is not really a great speaker. She doesn't really do a lot of the speaking stuff. She's not very talented at that. She doesn't have any policy positions to be excited by. She's more or less the same as Biden. She actually has a history of lying about policy positions that she supports, that she backtracks or misrepresents by, hey, is she really supporting Medicare for all? Or is her plan not really M4A, but she's saying she supports it? Or does she really support reparations, or is what she's calling reparations just a different policy position? So I'm not really seeing it, to be honest, but nonetheless, the coconut juices are flowing everywhere. It's on your face right now. It's inside of you. You know what I mean? The juices are just flowing everywhere. Everyone's just super excited. And I think at this point in the race, we can see these numbers here. Harris is now up by about 2.7 points or 2.6 points. So in the national aggregate, this is with Kennedy. We also know that Kennedy here, and I'm not going to get to cover this in a separate video. Too many news articles today. But this is news. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. sought a meeting last week with Democratic nominee Kamala Harris to discuss the possibility of serving in her administration, perhaps as a cabinet secretary, if he throws his support behind her campaign and she wins. Harris and her advisors have not responded with an offer to meet or show interest in the proposal. So RFK already knows he's going to lose. His numbers have dwindled significantly just for the simple fact that he was only able to win off the double haters, right? The double haters are what was fueling him. But now that the energy is behind Kamala Harris, the double haters have significantly halved. She still has some work to do with the double haters, though, because there's still a good amount of them that are kind of out there that she needs to pick up. So hopefully she'll be able to do that. But RFK had also reached out to, I think, the Biden campaign as well. They never responded. Klain said he never responded. Ron Klain. He also has reached out to Trump. So he kind of seems to be trying to reach out, but nobody wants him. He's like, who want? It's like that Cristiano Ronaldo meme where he's like, it's the Instagram story where he's like, who want me? And he's trying to look like all like seductive, and then it's just 100% says no in the poll. But RFK, how does he kind of switch up the race? I think at this point he has more Trump voters, whereas before I think he probably had a mix or maybe even more Biden because of all the double haters. But she's starting to kind of diverge away. Their numbers are starting to diverge away, and Trump is starting to panic for sure. And we're going to be covering that stuff in another video as well. But yeah, so Kamala Harris really going big off of it, and the Florida numbers are actually looking better too. I might do a separate video on that as well. But so Kamala Harris, if you're wondering what's going on with her numbers, the double haters are the big thing here. And again, I'm really surprised because Kamala Harris doesn't have any of the characteristics that I would expect a double hater to be excited by, but I guess people just hated Biden that much. But this is the secret juice that Kamala Harris is using to fuel the coconut juices that are flowing everywhere. The secret juice are these double haters. The double haters is a whole category. So I'm curious too, in 2028, if it's Kamala versus Trump, Kamala's in this weird position where somehow the vibes feel like she's actually getting a vote for Kamala, not just a vote against Trump and Biden, but also that. So it's like a triple fucking wombo, combo, wombo. is there going to be in 2028 if Trump versus Kamala? Is there going to be a full cumulative effect where there's a anti-Trump plus anti-Biden plus anti-Kamala, and they're going to have to get another candidate? I don't know. We're going to have to see. Might be is Walz going to be the next one? I don't know. We'll see. I think a lot of people will be excited by that. But definitely let me know what you think about this. Pretty interesting stuff. And if you're a double hater out there, let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know your perspective.